all of you are just kind of jerks. I don't want to be around you. And I'm tired of it. And I don't want to call them, and I don't want to talk to them. But right now, because of where everybody's at, where I'm at, I have a life with Robyn and her children. And right now, that's really, I'm okay with that, even though I hope we can fix things and move things to a different place. All of you are just kind of jerks. I don't want to be around you. And I'm tired of it.
Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Friday, October 20th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Last week, Kody Brown called all of his kids jerks. He said that he didn't want to speak to any of them ever again, and he said that everything that they say about him, he reciprocates times a million. Well, he didn't say the times a million, but you get my drift. And this week, Kody is back in fine form, and he is going to accuse Janelle and Christine of stealing his relationship with his kids. But let's not forget that Cody and Robyn severed ties with the kids back in November of 2021 because Robyn had a temper tantrum about a gift exchange. Don't forget that, okay? And this clip is all about Easter and making family traditions. And in the real world, apparently, Mykelti Brown was over on her Patreon. I must admit, I am not in her Patreon anymore. She blocked me, but that's fine. I understand. Mykelti did not like being called out last week about being a flying monkey for Robyn. Well, this week, watching the episode, apparently she has some problems with Robyn. Mykelti is nothing but consistently wishy-washy. And this week, she says that Robyn lied about the relationships breaking down with the kids after COVID and Christine left. She said that was not true, that relationships were bad before COVID and before Christine left, and that Christine did not have anything to do with the bad relationships between the kids and Cody. So apparently this week, Robyn is a liar. And she also got kind of upset with Cody for calling all of her siblings jerks and saying that he didn't want to speak to any of them. And she's having a hard time deciphering between the Robyn she sees on the show and the Robyn that she knows in real life. Now, next week, we might see Mykelti actually defend Robyn. So Mykelti is very wishy-washy, and while she might see that Robyn lied here, she will likely explain all of this away by saying that the Robyn that she knows in real life is so nice to her and she loves her and she just thinks all of this is for show. I'm not sure. But Mykelti has basically flipped on Robyn for at least one episode. And apparently when Cody called the siblings jerks, she appeared very emotional and couldn't understand why Cody would say that on a show. And on top of that, she had mentioned that that scene is going to haunt Cody for a very long time. Now, I agree. What Cody said about his kids, calling them all jerks, that will haunt him. That is a father on national television calling his kids jerks and saying he doesn't want to talk to them. That you can't erase that. And the real damage here is that this family is imploding on a television show. It's making great TV, but you have to kind of feel some sympathy here because there's people that are really involved in this family that aren't even on the show anymore. And this fallout affects them too. I can't comprehend putting my life on television in this manner. And moreover, I cannot fathom the magnitude of heartbreak I would feel if my family was doing this publicly and then having everyone talk about it. I mean, this is what they signed up for with the show. And hell, Cody won Reality Star of the Year. Apparently, for being an anti-hero on Sister Wives. Only a man that's practiced an illegal patriarchal scheme of creating a lot of women and children to work for him so that he can be lazy would get an award. But anyways, So in this new clip, which is from the Today Show, Cody basically says that everything was, he's just really hoping that everything can get back to normal. After a week ago, he's saying that they're all jerks. But let's just talk about something real quick. The timeline of this show is such a hot mess this season because it was 2 episodes ago that they were celebrating Janelle's birthday, which is in May. Last week, they were celebrating Avalon's birthday, which is in April. This week, they were celebrating Easter, which was on April 17th. So they can't keep straight where they're at in the timeline. It's spring 2022. That's, I guess, all we can say. So let's dive into it. Please do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We just hit 350,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you to all of you that are subscribing to the channel.
We need to have traditions that carry this part of the family forward. We need to continue traditions or reestablish traditions that have meaning for her children and mine, so that there's an identity.
Let's do Easter stuff. Yeah, let's clean up, everybody help clean off the table a bit.
An identity without their dad. This is exactly what Christine and Janelle's plan is, to separate me from my children so they can have them all to themselves.
Ah, yes, perpetual victim Kody Brown, not to be confused with constant victim Robyn Brown. Perpetual victim Kody Brown is suggesting that because Janelle and Christine decide to have traditions and try to show some stability to their family and to their kids, somehow that is a mission of them to keep them away from their dad. Cody's opportunity to have an identity in the family was apparent and available to him for, 30 some years. But Cody made the decision, maybe 13 years ago when he met Robyn Brown, that he no longer wanted to be a polygamist, but pretended to play one on TV. While all of this was going on, Cody abandoned his wives, neglected his children, made tons of money, spent all of the money on Rolexes, homes, sports cars, expensive art. And then once the wives wisened up to the fact that they no longer wanted to be pimped out by Cody, they left. And once they realized, our kids basically have no relationship with him because he's neglected them, they took off. But of course, the kids wanting to spend time with their moms, and Cody and Robyn just last episode revealing that they wanted nothing to do with the kids, somehow is Cody being left out of Easter. Naturally, it's the Cody conspiracy mental gymnastics. And good for them for trying to create some level of sense of normalcy. And obviously the kids are good friends and siblings. So yeah, let them have family time together. What do you expect them to do, Cody? You didn't want them around anyway.
Everybody gets 5 colored eggs and 5 boiled eggs and...
Colored, she means plastic.
Look, I think it's really fun to have the traditions regardless of how old you are. No, come on, let's be real.
Yep.
Wait, Shirley, did you get all yours?
It is the money, let's be honest with you. The reason why they're all down with this is because there's money in the eggs.
So last week we have Mykelti over at Cody and Robyn's house for Avalon's birthday. This week she's having Easter at her mom's house in Utah. And it also looks like Janelle and Savannah went up to spend time in Utah for Easter as well. And what do? An Easter egg hunt. And if there was money in the eggs, I don't even think you could get Robyn and Cody to participate in that. In order for Cody and Robyn to participate in an Easter egg hunt, you would have to have Rolex watches, David Yurman jewelry, Tiffany bracelets and necklaces, Lexus car keys. You might need a title to a mansion. You might need some art in an egg by Vladimir Kush. There's a million different things that would get them to open an egg, but a couple nickels and a few quarters would not be one of them because they're greedy and they spent all the wives' money. But the kids with Janelle and Christine had a cute little time with their Easter egg hunt, smiling and enjoying life, which, hey, nothing is cuter on Easter than Avalon. And I think she's the only little one there, and Truly's there as well. But looks like they had a good time, so good for them.
When we moved to Flagstaff, things became very, very difficult. Family gatherings were hard. There was just so much tension in the air. So for this, there's no tension. We're just glad to be around each other and with each other, and it feels like a real holiday should feel like, rather than having tension in the air.
Remember, like season 16, Cody and the wives sat around to talk about the principal, and Christine said something about how she feels like everyone hates her all the time and that she's always walking into a hostile environment. I would imagine having to be around Robyn and her gaslighting and her narcissism, and Cody and his gaslighting and his narcissism would not only make me feel tense and on edge, but it would also make me question my reality. And on top of that, I would just not want to go. And Christine put up with that for years and years and years because of this show. And so for now, for them to have the opportunity to do family events on the show that are actually not forced and aren't being heavily produced for the series, like all of those trips they went on, all of those different activities they used to do where they would go to the movies, or they would go, do the commitment ceremony, or they would take the kids in RV trips, that those activities, all of that producer led, all of it paid for by the show. And I'm sure all of it was so incredibly uncomfortable for the kids because in reality, they weren't getting along very well. Like on television, they were appearing one way, cohesive and all together, even though you would see the wives squabble and throw jabs at each other. The kids also threw jabs at each other. I mean, multiple fights between the boys, lots of crying by the kids. It was always chaotic. So to see them happy and not having to deal with that level of stress is probably very freeing for them. Only Cody and Robyn would turn that into, they're taking this away from me. Like, Cody, you had the opportunity to do this for years. You had an opportunity to be invested in this, but you chose not to because you are a polygamist narcissist. Polygamy in general just does not work. There's almost always a favorite wife, and you picked your wife and you went off with her and you ditched the other women, but then at the same time decided to go on a show. Cody never takes responsibility for anything. The other day I said that Cody does take responsibility sometimes, but I've learned that he only does that when he thinks he'll get his face saved. So if he thinks that it'll improve his reputation, he might apologize or play like, yes, it was so hard. I'm so humble. Like yes, I made mistakes. I learned so much, but he doesn't actually say what the mistakes were. And then when he does share that he made a mistake, it's not an actual mistake that Christine or Janelle agrees was a mistake. It doesn't matter. Cody made himself the victim. But so in this episode, you see Cody making himself the victim, Christine and Janelle and the kids having fun. And I would love to know what your thoughts are about Mykelti flipping on Robyn. I'm iffy at best that she will actually change her opinion. I'm iffy at best that this will cause a massive disruption in her life with Robyn. My question to Mykelti and to any child that's involved in this family is, how could you sit by and watch what your father did to the rest of the family, to the mothers and to your siblings, and think that it's okay? And that because your relationship didn't have that, even though it did, because Mykelti ended up being taken in by Robyn because her parents couldn't handle the fact that she was being bullied, which should have been handled by Cody and Robyn. It should have been handled with them, not shipped off to Robyn. And so because she feels like Robyn saved her, she's willing to overlook everything that Robyn does and everything that her dad does. It's, how can she even want to have a relationship with him? I know that every daughter wants to love her dad, but sometimes you got to cut the cord. And how many negative, hateful things is he going to say on the show? And how many hateful, negative things is Robyn going to do on the show to the people that she claims to love before she realizes, this is who Robyn is, this is who my dad is, they're gaslighting me? I hope she wakes up. What are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.